Hello there, Sarah from 17 once again. This is my Uncharted The Lost Legacy crushing difficulty walkthrough. This is the 6th level. It's called the Gatekeeper. So this is when the game gets hard, and there is one tough sequence here which I got first attempt, luckily, because I have a super cheesy strategy which I'm going to share with you. But this initial area right now, the path that I'm going to be running on is not the best path to get to the objective. I wanted to see if this moment was dynamic, so I'm going to be walking off the beaten path and doing different things than I did the first time. Because the first time through, I interacted with a lot of parts of the environment and I got these interesting vignettes where Chloe had stuff happen, she talked about it, it was quite interesting. So for this time, I wanted to see if the same things would happen if I went a different path. And they were different, so this is another one of those moments where there are these wonderful dynamic moments if you trip and stumble into them, which I think is pretty cool. They're not massive, like it's not full cutscenes or anything, it's just quips that she says that she didn't say before, so it's just nice touches. And can you remember way back when we went to the tower, I drove through an area that led to this bridge that's to my right, and I said, remember this avenue, because it's going to be important later on? Well, now is that magical moment. So, if you could go down that avenue like you could before, we could have a lot of fun here, but you'll notice, look at this, they have spawned a bunch of shrubbery and trees and branches. I don't know if Swamp Thing was hired as a contractor and he just thought, you know, this bit's a bit too sparse, there's too much rock here, let's have some greenery, but that is all 100%, you cannot go that way anymore because they want you to come through here. And this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to take the C4 from here and sneak round the other side. It might be possible to run around the other side of the map and come to the tower from another perspective after picking the C4 up. The reason you would want to do this is because if you have C4, you can do damage to the truck that's coming up without having to find more than you need. And on crushing difficulty, it takes 5 pieces of C4. You are not hearing me wrong. 5 pieces of C4 to kill this boss. Not 3 and he's done like Bowser. 5 pieces of C4. It is obnoxious and no enemies will spawn at this point or you could shoot the sniper from here, so... Strategy is very simple, guys. What we're going to do is we're going to get the attention of the enemies, we're going to pull them to a corner where they can't do too much damage to me, and I'm going to kill them all. Once most of the enemies have left this area, I'm going to take out the NPC. The APC, sorry. So this is our corner. The thing to know, 2 things to know here. You can slip coming up here, and it makes it awkward, and you can clip as well, and take damage when you don't need to. The second thing you need to know is that every so often the graphics disappear, so if you have any visual bugs, it's just the game, it's not your fault, it kind of happens. So immediately we got the attention of some enemies, we have 2 people attacking us. This area has about 8 to 10 people in it. You need those people either to be dead or to stealth them. And then we have the truck. So here's how the truck works. This thing is so bullshit, it's not even funny. So right now, the truck has never seen me, but it knows exactly where I am because of the fact that the enemies do too. So watch, boom, straight away. Instantly knows where I am, shoots immediately at me. Even when I'm in cover and it hasn't seen me in ages, it still knows I'm there, but it can't get up here. So it tries to do these 3-point turns that are unsuccessful, and then it drives around and it stands around and it messes about, and then eventually the AI will change and it'll drive away. And that's what we're waiting for. But we have to kill these dudes first. And this is how I think it works. When the enemies know where you are, the soldiers, specifically, the APC does 100%, objectively knows exactly where you are, turns his cheats on, turns his wall hacks on, all that bullshit. When you kill them, he goes back to not knowing where you are. And that's really important for this strategy that you're watching. Because every time we pull attention, and we pull enemies over here, and we kill them, we have to wait for his AI to go back to being normal before we can do anything. Because right now, he knows exactly... Look, watch his turret. His turret never moves from exactly where my head is. Because he's using his hacks. And we need to wait for him to go, oh, and then walk away. Because effectively what this is duh-duh-duh. What was that noise? Duh-duh-duh. What was that noise? And that's all we're doing. Only now we have it with this truck, and this truck doesn't follow the same rules. But give it a minute or 2, and he eventually will leave. So that's what we're waiting on here. The alternative strategy on this part is to stealth. You can stealth and pick up the C4s, pick up the RPGs, and do this part, but it is considerably more difficult to do because on crushing, the stealth is so strict. The grass is helpful, but the gaps in it are the things that get you caught, and the APC just sees you from ridiculous distance. So right now, he's driving away, and now we get to do second part of Hard Plan. Pick up all the ammunition that you get from all the dead guys that we shot. Once you've done that, you're going to find whoever you can who's left, and you're going to shoot at him. And this is once again going to beckon everybody to come towards us, which should be about 2 to 3 more guys, and we're going to go back to that spot, and we're going to kill them. And we're going to do this until it's just us, the dude with the rocket launcher on top of the tower, and the truck. And then once that's done, I'm going to pick up some C4, I'm going to get 2 RPGs, and we're going to kill this truck, and it's going to be nice and simple. But here's the problem with this situation. You can hit this thing with 4 C4s, kill every enemy in this area. If you die, there's no checkpoint. You will start back up on that muddy ramp before we entered the area, before it even swung around. So you have to do this entire section on one attempt, basically. I think that's a little bit strict. I think it's a little bit unfair on the player. Personally, because it takes 5 hits from the C4s, I would have made it so that every time you hit it with C4, you either get a checkpoint, or you get a checkpoint for every, 2 to 3 C4s. It should be, every time you make some kind of dint against the machine, you get some kind of status save. Because the hardest part about this is not the bullshit truck, even though it's annoying, it's all the people. There is a bunch of silenced pistols as well, so you can get silenced pistols and you can kind of stealth them that way, but I've done it both ways, guys. I've done it in this method, and I've done it all stealth, and I still feel that the stealth is just, it takes too long, it's too intensive, and it's too skill dependent. And for a walkthrough, the easiest strategy has to be the one I go with. So it's the one where I play like this, where you are never in danger, and as long as you are a decent shot, you'll never get killed by the enemies that you're baiting to this corner and putting down. And all this is a bit of a test of patience, and understanding how to exploit the pathing and the AI. And this is easily one of the hardest parts of the game. So whatever helps you win is good enough for me, right? But it's a little frustrating because of these moments. And I am tempted to trim them out and just make it look like the truck fucked off in a second, but then it doesn't give you an appreciation for what you have to do. And if you are going to follow this strategy, and let's face it, guys, if you come to this for help, this is one of the parts you're coming for. Because everything else has been so goddamn easy, there's no real reason to care, right? This is where it got interesting, where you kind of went, oh wow, now this could be tough. And there we go, he's gone away. So now we get to move forward again. At this point, you want to once again get ammunition and start going through the boxes, picking up C4. The strategy's real simple. If you're going to go straight C4, get 4 pieces of C4, put them all in a spot where the truck definitely goes, and then get the 5th piece of C4, put it in the same spot. Detonate all 5, kill the truck in 1. You do not want to do it one at a time because it's way too much space for error, basically. I shoot the guy with the rocket launcher over there, and then I'm going to run all the way back this way, because when you shoot your gun, the truck knows exactly where you are. Doesn't matter what you're doing, it just knows. It's Metal Gear Solid 1 all over again. Everybody knows where you are. There was a meeting, they sent out an email, and then you're in trouble. So I come back here, but I don't think there's many dudes left, so it's just going to be me and the truck, and maybe 1 or 2 inquisitive soldiers. But we're coming up on the end of the truly, slow, methodical part. Here's one dude with a helmet. He's a nightmare, him, because if you don't choke him from behind, you have to shoot him with the pistol, and the first shot notifies him and takes his helmet off, and then the second shot kills him. Doing that without setting off an alarm on crushing is very tough. But just wait for the truck to go somewhere else, and we can get on with our lives. This is me double-checking that there aren't any soldiers. Something you need to do, guys, if the truck is parked to the left of where I'm looking here, round this corner, and he doesn't seem to be moving, there's probably a dude left. Because you have to walk all the way around like I did to make sure there's not any dudes left and bait them to come closer. Because sometimes one dude will stand where you can see just there, just down in that corner, and he doesn't move any closer. So if you have him stuck there, it will never reset the AI of the truck, and he'll just sit there knowing where you are. He's got his UAV, he's waiting for his Predator missile, he's being a big bitch. So now we can continue. climb up here, go immediately into the long grass, and then look around to see if you can see anybody left. It's very tough to see. The graphics are amazing, but they don't half limit your vision, because there's rain, there's mist, there's all kinds of stuff. The lens is being affected. We've got all kinds of motion blur every time we turn the camera. When you aim your gun, you get depth of field, which is annoying as fuck. All these effects that make the game look amazing stylistically, but piss me off. And that was a guy. Did you see him? So there's definitely somebody still alive. So I'll come over here, grab the pistol, grab the C4, and I know that there's one dude I have to get rid of, and he's there. And he has a bloody helmet, which is how I know that this is going to be a nightmare. So I missed my first shot because I suck. My second shot takes his helmet off, and then I stand up in the grass, which tells me I shoot a dude who has no idea where I am. Everybody then knows where I am, and I can't hide again. So I'm like, oh, I've fucked this up. That's probably a reset, but luckily enough, this corner is so powerful, it doesn't affect us. As soon as you set off that alarm, run all the way back here, make sure you don't clip on the corner, and get in cover, and then there's one guy left to kill, and then the truck will fuck off, and then we can get rid of it finally. So, I think I chuck 2 pieces of C4 at it, and I shoot it twice with RPGs. My strategy here is, I'm going to get an RPG from one of the boxes, I think. Or maybe I just do... No, it's definitely 2, So the guy on the top of the tower who you saw me shoot, he always has an RPG, so bear that in mind. You can get them from the boxes too. Uh-oh, clipping. Always fun. I'm going to do a combination. It goes down pretty quick, so that should be a solace at least. And then once you kill the truck, there's a spawn of enemies in another truck. And I don't know if you get a checkpoint because I've never died, but if you did die, it would suck major balls, right? So my strategy was to go get an RPG, shoot it at the truck and kill all of them before you've even had a chance to engage them. And on my practice run, it worked first time, looked amazing, and I got my checkpoint. On this run, one guy survives and it puts me in a really dangerous situation where he shoots down at me from a rock. And you're going to get to see that, so just be aware that the strategy that I use at the end of this video is not 100% guaranteed to kill everybody, but it might, so it's a good start, right? Because it at least gets rid of 2 or 3, and you don't even have to contend with those guys. But we still have to wait for bloody Johnny Wallhacks over there to go away. And this is 100% archaic AI right here. This is just bullshit old school gaming AI, and I really wish it'd go away. The idea that I shoot a guy's helmet off when he's 30 feet away from me and I'm balls deep laid in some grass, you just couldn't see me if you tried, and then immediately everybody knows, that belongs on the PlayStation 1. And it's kind of funny, isn't it, that Uncharted is so advanced in 1,000,001 ways, but it still has garbage like that. And the reason that that exists is to make it harder. Oh, you see the graphics there? Graphics disappear when the lightning strikes. Always fun. So I'm getting a bit bored. I'm like, fuck off, truck, please. I want to do something. This is dumb. And I run over here, trying to break line of sight from his wall hacks. And then he goes away, and then we can continue. So, it took us, 12 minutes to get this far. It's a pretty long fight, but it's safe. And that's what it's all about. Safety first, right? Don't run with scissors. Always make sure there's batteries in the fire alarm. But here's the truck. He just knew. He knew I'd come to this part. So he chills out. He's not looking my way, but don't even risk it, guys. This truck sucks. It has such great awareness, considering you wouldn't have any good awareness if you were in it at all in these weather conditions. So I wait for it to go all the way away from me, and I'm going to be going all the way around this left-hand side. We've already picked up 1 piece of C4, so we're going to push on from this bit to this next area. And boom, you see that? What the fuck saw me then? That was the truck. The truck saw me. Suck my dick. See what I mean? Like, that's the end. If there's any soldiers, they're all shooting at you now. They all know where you are, all because of that. Like, the stealth in this section is really fucking miserable. It really is. It took so long to do it. And it's never worth it. That's the thing I don't understand. Like, in the other games, stealthing these moments was oftentimes the best strategy because it was easy to do. In this game, it's not. So aside from the satisfaction of feeling like you did it, there's no other reason to do it. Because it's harder than shooting people. And there's a few people that'll appeal to because, you know, they're super hardcore stealth guys and they love that kind of thing. But I don't see why they made the stealth so obnoxious in these games. And I always think back to like Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 3. Uncharted 3 had a couple of sequences where you couldn't stealth everybody because there were a couple of really arbitrary triggers. But Uncharted 2, for the most, if they gave you a situation where you could start choking people from behind, you could do them all. And sure, you had to practice the path a little bit and figure out where to go and where not to go and stuff, but it was generally pretty simple, and it was a lot of fun, whereas in this game, it feels like pulling teeth. So you've seen so far, I've pretty much never done stealth because it's never really been the strategy that I believe to be the best. So here is our first RPG. That's really good to know. And the good thing about this game is you can carry multiple RPGs. It's not like, Deus Ex video game Machina where you can only carry one at a time. So from here, we have 3 pieces of C4, and we have a second rocket launcher waiting for us on that roof. So I'm going to stick a bunch of C4 right there, because I know the truck comes past here every single time, regardless of what you do. And what we're going to do is we're going to detonate all of them, and then we're going to run, climb up to the roof where he can't see us or shoot us, pick up the second RPG, and then fire both RPGs to beat this fight. And that's it, guys. That's all of it. But I'm being rather tentative, because if you get caught and you have a lot of ground to cover with this boss, it kills you very fast. It doesn't kill you as fast as it would on something else, but it still kills you pretty goddamn horrifically fast. So here he is. Wait for it. I'm going to wait for him to teeter a little bit forward, and then boom! Hit him with everything he's got. So from this point, he's all pissed off. He's like, hang on, who did that? I don't remember that happening before. He's all smoking and stuff. That was 3 pieces of C4. Can you tell me anything on this planet that could survive that much C4? Did you see how big those blocks were as well? And then he sees me right then. Something sees me, so I have to start running. And boom, here is the damage that he does instantly. So getting cover, start climbing, and then this tower to my right, he cannot see you if you climb this tower, because there's a nice piece of cover, and he cannot shoot you in it. So from here, all you have to do is look over the balcony, and then hit him twice, and you're done. Just do not shoot cover. If you shoot cover, you'll have to do it all again. It's never happened to me, but it's the type of shit that normally does. So wait for your regen, and then put him out of his misery, and then immediately run and jump towards this way. Do you see that glowing area over there, that alcove, with that orange box? The orange box has Half-Life and all those great games in it, including an RPG, which is what we want. So that's the spawn of the truck and the enemies. Over here is the lockpick to get the RPG. And this is where I was hoping my strategy would work every single time, but it doesn't. So, like, these situations right now, I don't think they should have 2 locks. I think it should be 1 lock. 2 locks to me just feels pedantic to make it more nail-biting than it needs to be. Like, it's just... it feels so contrived to me. It's the most video game part of this game. So, this was the strat, right? Shoot the front side door of the truck, just there, kills everybody, and then you'll hear Nadine talk. But it doesn't work, you see. So I run around this area picking stuff up, and I think somebody shoots at me, and that's when I realised I've messed up. Because the music doesn't change, nobody starts talking, and I'm like, really? Really? That didn't get rid of them all? Come on now. And the only thing I can think of is that the enemies moved in an interesting pattern. Because before, they just kind of stayed there, but maybe they started fighting with Nadine and she moved them out of position. Whatever it was, they all didn't die. So I swapped to the para pistol. We've got 12 bullets to make this work, and he's just above me up on these rocks to my right here. And he starts shooting down, which is a really scary moment, because they have way more of an advantage shooting down than you do shooting up. So right now, even in cover, this guy can hit me, so I have to kill him. And we have a lovely little battle right here. I should have killed him then, but it looks like he's going to win. So I get my life back, and then we start again. Fingers crossed we can get him. And he will track you all across this area too. And then Dean starts fighting him. And I think she kills him. And then the music does the crescendo. And then you hear the talking. So, there you go. That's the end of one of the hardest parts of the game. There are only 2 left. One of them's really fun. The other one's garbage. And guess why it's garbage, guys? Because you know all the problems with this fight that I just explained? How the vehicle knows where you are if the enemies do, and then you have to kill all the dudes, and then the vehicle forgets where you are, and all that kind of garbage, and arbitrary spawning enemies during each phase. That one has the exact same design as this one. So if you didn't like this particular fight, you're going to hate the last one, because the last one's worse. It's not as hard, because I have this wonderful strategy that is essentially exploiting AI and their proclivity for going into cover / running around like idiots, and hopefully you'll have no problem with it as we stare at Chloe's rumpus as we walk forward into this temple, and we get to see more of the fantastic Indian architecture. But yeah, guys, That was... Oh, watch the smoke here too. Look at this. This looks really bad. The smoke in this game normally looks amazing, but this crypt mist, or whatever the hell this is, this dry ice that somebody sprayed everywhere, how bad did that look? And I know this game can pull that effect off because it's done it previously where it looked amazing. So I don't know if I pushed through this area too quickly and it wasn't supposed to be there, or if that's just one of those incidents where it just doesn't look that great, but that looks rough for Uncharted. Really rough. And this game has fantastic smoke. Try blowing up a vehicle or shooting a grenade launcher. The smoke you see after that looks superb. So it's nothing to do, you know, with the artistic technology. It's just, in that instance, the lighting, the environment made it look really bad. But keep on pushing forward, and you'll be fine. But yeah, guys, how are you finding the game? I'm seeing a lot of people kind of saying that the game is good, but it's very familiar. You know, it's got all those great moments that you want from this kind of game, but it all feels like you've done it before. And I think that's a perfectly fine criticism. I really do. There's a lot of fun to be had here, but it's familiar fun. And it all depends on you, I think. Like, how much Uncharted have you played? Did you dabble a little bit with the first game, and then you got the fourth game and loved it? Well, this will probably be more of what you love. Have you beat them all? Have you beat them all on multiple difficulties? Have you beat them all on multiple difficulties multiple times? And when you come to this, it's really gonna feel familiar, you know? It's reminiscent of all those other adventures. So there's a big sequence involving an elephant that I've trimmed out. I didn't do it because I'm an evil human being. I did it because there's no need for me to share it as far as a strategy, because it does itself. It's a character story moment, and it kind of shows the divide that has happened between Chloe and Nadine, and at the same time it gives you this nice lulling slow section to kind of get your breath back after that massive boss against that truck, and then you're going to be flowing into the next sequence of the game, which is a little bit more platforming. But luckily enough, the ancient Indians decided to rub chalk on every ledge that was grabbable for a young, able female, and we can carry on through the game. I do like the fact that there's a lot of plants and stuff growing on these rocks as well. Gotta love that it's spotted with plant life, and then we get to see another parrot, or a parakeet, or whatever that species is, as we swing across here and then turn to our left to swing again. And then you get to stab the old pick into the wall. So this is something that I would have liked to have seen more of. The pick system is essentially just a little bit more complexity to climbing, right? But I thought you'd use it way more. Like, I kind of wish, against the final bosses of these games, there would be a moment where you had to swing from your rope and do like a crazy swing that's absolutely ridiculous, and the only thing to grab is stabbing that pick into the boss. And then, you know, dragging down him and slowly eviscerating him or something as you cling into this wall. Or just the idea of using him as piston platforms to stab this thing to climb up off him and get to safety while he falls with all these fucking holes and pieces of climbing apparatus in him. That'd be sick and grisly, but kind of awesome. But you just don't see it, I guess. It's just me and my sick, twisted mind. But thank you for watching. You take care now.